what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Beers and White Toes podcast. As always, you know who I am, and if you don't, I am the bearded one, Sam Williams, and of course with me is the lovely, the beautiful Miss Kymberly with the Y, and our third member of the Beers and White Toes, DJ Univercity. So, real quick, we're gonna jump right into our temperature check. You, tell me about your week, man. How's everything?
You,
going?
like,
Good, bro. You know, a lot of snow outside, a lot of shoveling, you know. But the grind continues, whether it's rain, sleet, or snow. Blessed to be here.
For sure. Kim?
I'm good. I got the itis, but I'll be all right. I'll make it.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too, and I think my age is starting to show because I'm ready for a nap.
Absolutely, but don't say nothing about your age because I'm a little bit older than you. So if
I
your
know,
age is showing,
and I know you sleepy as hell. So
I ask you about that. Don't do too much.
all right, well then I won't do too much then, except jump into this topic. So, Kim, we have had numerous conversations throughout the last couple of days. We've seen a lot of different things on social media. We've talked to our friends, our peers, or whatnot, and everybody's got the same thing going on from two different, perspectives. What are we talking about today?
Insecurities and working through insecurities more than anything. Point blank period. Everybody has insecurities, and if you say you don't, you're lying. Like you're not telling the truth if you say you don't have any insecurities. Typically, we don't really do too much talking about what we're going to talk about before, but this topic has been hitting home.
Yeah.
And so I think what you said was that women's insecurities are more physical. Men's insecurities are more mental, or
I would say it's more material. And the reason why I say it's more material ties into mental. Okay. But the main thing is the material part. So yes, I did say women, and it's physical for them. So could you imagine if you were trying to, I equate being broke to somebody who's having issues with their body and they don't feel confident in their body. So if you don't feel confident with your money, that means that you're not doing as much. You feel as if though you can't hang out with the certain type of homies who can do a little bit more than you can. When it comes to certain women who have insecurities with their bodies, they feel as if though they can't wear certain things that some of their other homies can. For example, you may have a mom who's had a couple of kids. Just putting this out there. I have no problems at all with mom bodies. I think moms who have the ability to have children, y'all are superheroes. So however y'all look afterwards, I can appreciate it. Unfortunately though, a lot of moms can't. Because, y'all have babies and some things just don't snatch back.
Should go left.
Exactly.
Like it goes left.
So y'all don't feel as confident. When you're dealing with somebody who, when there's a man who's having problems as far as, his money is concerned, you know what I'm saying? That insecurity comes in because now it feels like his access has been cut. It's limited more so than anything. His access is supremely limited. We live in a time right now where everything is seen. There is no struggling in silence anymore. If you're not putting it out there yourself, somebody is going to put it out there for you indirectly because we see everything and we are prisoners of the moment. And more so than being just prisoners of the moment, we're prisoners to our phones. We spend most of our time on our cell phones. Yes. So think about this. If you always on Instagram, you always on Facebook, you always on Snapchat, and you see some chick talking about, in order for a nigga to fuck with me, shout out to my homegirl.
Good, Chanel.
Shout out to the homie Miss Chanel. If y'all don't know who she is, go back to season 1 and listen to one of our episodes called I Shouldn't Have to Fuck for Free. Because in the first line
Off the chain.
Listen,
man.
in the first line of that fucking episode, this woman said, in order to fuck with me, you have to come with a $40,000 AP.
I remember that. And she kept it going too. She kept that energy. I'm not, if that's, man, look.
If that's where you are,
that's
live
where you
your
are.
truth. But what you just simply did you have just simply completely narrowed down your options.
But if that's what she wanted to do, then that's on her.
And there's nothing wrong with
that.
Like,
that's what I'm saying, not knocking it one way or another.
But you've narrowed down the options. But here's where that problem comes in at. You looking for a very small percentage. That very small percentage has to pick up whatever he wants.
But because you know me, I have to look at it. You know me. If you don't know me, this is it. I have to look at things two different ways. So you just talked about what Chanel said.
Mm-hmm.
And, there are a lot of women who think like that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But let's flip it. Men.
Yeah.
And so if we're looking physical, she got to have a fat ass. She got to have double D. She got to all of this type of stuff.
Okay.
So.
And just like that woman, he's simply narrowed down his options, which now in that case, her options are broader because she can go ahead and actually have the pick of the litter of what she wants.
And what I was going to say, let me be clear about something. It's nothing wrong with having options, your opinions, whatever. But when you do things like that and you do narrow down your selection, don't be mad at the type of people you get, because that's where you just put yourself. So, not to say you can't change your mind, but be sure that that's what you want to do, before you start writing people off because of, whatever, this, that, and the third.
Right.
So, and I already know we did discuss this a little bit earlier. I want to jump straight into that Facebook post.
Okay. Which one?
No names.
No.
The second one, the one we know personally.
We
Were
saw
they both?
Yeah, we know both of them.
Okay, so basically, there was a post that was made, and it was basically saying that women have a preference in height,
and men have a preference in weight.
And so I'm gonna be honest. Somebody made a very valid point on there, and he said it. And I have an issue. I don't have an issue with admitting I'm wrong, and I can admit when someone else is right. It hurts a little bit more to admit I'm wrong, though. But he was like, if that's the case, that's stupid because men can't control their height.
But a woman can control her weight.
However, let me say something. I'll put myself on blast for 2.5 seconds and we go back.
Okay.
I am not tall at all. I am 5'3". Okay. I have always, not always, but for the most part, have had men who are taller. My preference is a taller man. I don't know if it's because my daddy was 6'6", my mama is 5'3.5". So that's what I saw. I don't know. However, I have to say this. I have been made to not underestimate short men. It was 2 short men that
I wasn't one of them either. Because I know where the fuck y'all all going. Okay, I know where everybody going. It wasn't me.
It was not.
y'all can be thinking y'all getting the Sam story. Ain't no Sam story.
But I'll put myself out, but I ain't going all the way out. I'm gonna just say 2 short men at different points in my life.
2 short men make 1 tall man. No, I'm just playing.
At different points in my life made me be a little bit more open.
Okay.
To short men. But I think we get caught up between personal preference and somebody mirroring, projecting, whatever, insecurities. You know what I'm saying?
Party foul. Good.
So at that point, but it's like you start getting ostracized for having a personal preference. I think my issue is this. You can have a personal preference, but don't put somebody else down because they don't match your personal preference. I think that's where we get fucked up.
Okay. Speaking to that, I'm not tall at all. Okay, I'm
You taller than me.
Slightly. So that's why I know she wasn't talking about me, because I'm taller than her. I'm not.
Of course, those two were taller. They just wasn't 6 something like I'm used to.
What were they, like 5'7", 5'8"?
Like, yeah, 5'8", 5'9", maybe.
That's still tall for me.
5'7".
I'm still not that tall, but it don't even matter because
They
guess
just
what?
wasn't 6 something.
Look, I'll say this.
Ask her about the short man. The experience she had short.
Okay.
The world is
Okay.
And I said what I said about the short men experience, and the experience was they made me second guess myself about second guessing short men.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I'll say this. I have definitely never discriminated against a woman's appearance as far as how tall she is or how, slender or, how heavy she may be. I'm trying to tread lightly with my words. I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
I feel like I want to put you on blast though. Because there was one thing that you told me that she could not be.
She couldn't have ugly feet.
No, that ain't it.
Oh, that ain't it? What is it?
You said she can't be skinny.
But I have dated skinny women.
I'm just telling you what you said.
Okay, now I'll say this. My preference is to not.
Okay, but that's not what you said initially. You said she cannot be skinny.
Look, okay, I know what I said in the past. Don't shorten my
That
lessons
was last
now.
week.
Damn.
That was legit last week.
Well, you know one thing about change is constant. And so, therefore...
And I was going to say, I'm sorry, because now your inbox probably finna... I'm not fixing it, so never mind. I'm going to shut up. Keep going. My bad.
Hit my inbox, your credit going to get fucked up. I'm telling you. So, I'm not dating in 2022. I don't know how many times I gotta keep saying that. Don't hit my inbox.
Just keep saying it until December 2022 hits it. I see it didn't happen.
Hey, man. Somebody got to come blow my socks off. Literally and figuratively. Anyway.
Continue.
I just think for me, as I've watched people that I know who I trust, I've always been told that, looks aren't everything. That's not very true, to say the least. But it's just honestly a matter of preference on how, as far as size. Because everybody deserves somebody. So who we may find in the face unattractive, somebody else may. It's like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But then we sit here and we also look at certain situations in a form of body shaming because we think that a person is incapable because they're a certain type of size. You don't attribute a heavier woman doing gymnastics, but you see it.
Man, look.
You see it.
I've seen them on poles and they be killing it. I'm like...
My first real girlfriend was heavy set. And you know what? I'm good with that. I knew what I wanted. I knew how she made me feel at that time. But I've also had women who are skinny. I knew how they made me feel. They hurt. Everything felt. It's like you feel everything. It's like,
so here we go. Like, these are jokes, but
so I
at
guess
the
I just
same
narrowed
time,
I just narrowed down my search.
But that's but also that's not because you're gonna.
That's an experience. That's what that is. That was an experience.
When I told you though about you might not have narrowed down your search because now you might have skinny women like, oh no, let me show him what it's a challenge.
Nah, just because I said I wasn't dating doesn't mean I wasn't trying to. If y'all want me to find out, y'all know where to find me. Hit me up. Yeah, but
be careful.
Just know you gonna get kicked out the crib or whatever. You can't eat because this ain't that.
Nah, I'm sorry.
Anyway, continue on with your thought.
You were talking.
Oh, I was talking. No, I've always just been attracted to personalities And I've always felt like when it comes to personalities, that's what counts the most. Second, if her face is pretty, that just makes the personality even better. And if her toes look good, hey, she wins. I don't give a fuck how big or small she is. If she got pretty feet, a great personality, she got a pretty face, I'm all for it. But saying all that to say, I think people have to stop being so narrow-minded because, like I said, not only are you being narrow-minded as far as your preferences, you're narrowing down the type of person that you can have because you have to, like I said before, you have to consider the fact that this person that you're looking for has way more options than just you. So what makes you stand out aside from everybody else? You want this six-figure nigga, but he wants somebody who don't have no kids. If you got kids, you out. He wants somebody that's weighing about 140, maybe between 5'1" and 5'5", because he was tall and he wants to find somebody he can be taller than. Guess what? You 6'2". With kids. You out for that man. So now your search is a lot smaller, but you follow where I'm going with this. The fact that this person has options, just like we all have options.
Right.
But don't lessen your chances because you don't have an opportunity. You don't know how to properly narrow down your search because what you've done is you've pretty much selected a specific type of person. So
I guess. First of all, you irritate my soul.
Why?
I just want to say, it was something you said, and I was like, yo, you irritating. I can't even remember what it said. It's just piling up at this point. But is it actually narrowing? You're saying it like...
I'm saying it from a perspective of when you say, I want this, this, and this. It's like when you go looking for shoes and you filter that shit out. You going to start off at 3,000 pairs of shoes and you're going to narrow that shit down to 10. That's what you're doing when you have, instead of just saying, all right, I'm willing to take this instead of that. If she's a little bigger, okay, I'll accept that. If she's a little skinnier, I'll accept that. It's just that's why I said with guys, it's a little different. Because I know it's plenty of men that's done something with most sizes, if not all. And they be lying if they said otherwise.
But here's the thing. If it's narrowing down your options to what you want, how is that? Is that a problem? I get what you're saying because that's like me with, okay, before if you wasn't at least 6 feet, I didn't want nothing with you. And then these two separate times in life, 5'8" dudes came around and like basically made me eat my words because I know what I said, but they made me eat my words. So I lost out because, hey, a short man might have been the move all along, but I was too busy focused on, no, I don't want the short ones, I want the tall one.
You a short man.
Hey, man, listen. One thing, let me just explain something. And you know what? Listen, I'm going to just say this. This is about to be my favorite motherfucking camera right here. Let me just say this. Short niggas ain't losing at all.
Nah.
Because you know what? One thing about a short nigga, you not gonna see us when we leave your chick's house. We can slip right out the back door and slide right off to the side.
Totally
we can duck a little low by the bushes. Trust me, I've done it before. So I know how this shit go. So yeah, y'all better tread lightly when it comes to a short nigga. We fucking everything. Whatever we want.
That don't sound good. Like you, okay. Nope.
I'm saying that.
Nope.
Listen, I'm saying that
Nope.
because look, I gotta defend us real quick.
Why? There's no need to defend. I'm saying I was wrong.
No, I'm defending us from all these goofy ass people that don't think we deserve a chance. I'm gonna just say this: small things come in big things come in small packages. That's all I'm gonna say. God damn it, and I'm a.
You
go
done?
ahead. I'm done. I'm done.
I posed a question though, so I need you to answer the question.
Okay, ask your question again.
Basically, if you're narrowing down your options, but it's what you want,
okay,
is that an issue?
It's not an issue. It only becomes an issue when you have to wait a little bit longer because you're expecting that type of person to fall into your lap. That shit may not happen ever. It may take 5-10 years. In that time span, while you sitting here waiting on Mr. Right or Miss Right, you done walked past couple Mr. Mrs. Absolutely Rights, waiting on one motherfucking person. That's why I'm saying when it comes to certain people, when they start saying, well, I only want a man with this certain amount of money. Or when a man says, I want a woman that has to look specifically like this. Now we have to ask ourselves, beyond that, what exactly are we going to be getting from that? Because now what you've done is you're only looking for a trophy. Now the question is, can that trophy make you work, for the women? Can that trophy help you move in feminine energy? Fellas, can that woman help you get yourself into a space to where all men have egos? Does she stroke your ego appropriately? But can she also tap into your masculine energy? What I mean by that, because I think we talk so much about feminine energy on this show that when it comes to masculine energy, we kind of...
Can we please talk about masculine energy?
Okay.
Pretty please. Because of the simple fact that I'm tired of seeing males move in less than masculine energy.
Okay.
For show, for likes. If that's what you do, let me put it that way. I don't like when guys do it and then expect you to still be feminine.
And that's why
it's difficult.
And that's why I said, the problem that I've had.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt you one more time? We've been sitting here talking, usually we include Archie. He not here. We didn't even ask. We didn't even ask. So
get bro involved.
We need you to weigh in.
I need some time.
We need you to weigh in on insecurities.
Right.
Where we at? Where are we with them? What we?
Well, we all struggle with insecurities. Like we said earlier. Whether we admit it or not. So it's like one of those weaknesses. Insecurity may be a weakness that we all may have, and it can, be a negative thing in certain aspects of your life, but sometimes it can be a positive. And the reason why I say a positive is because if you're insecure about something, then you probably, if you're in your right mind, you're working on improving, so that you won't be insecure about, whatever it may be. So I think this is something that we all, deal with, in one way or another.
Okay.
So I think you make a great point. And honestly, I want to tap into that in just a moment. Because I want to get into this masculine energy and how important that is for women. Because like I said, women, they want a man to help them move in feminine energy. But what do you offer as far to a man? Because one thing I don't like hearing is, what do you bring to the table?
That gets on my nerves.
What can you bring to the table is that's like studying liberal arts in college.
Because whole time my answer's gonna be something smart along the lines of, I'll bring the house around the table. Miss me with that conversation. That's the stupidest. It's stupid.
So my thing is this: masculine energy and ego are two different things.
Facts.
Okay. When it comes to dealing with masculine energy, that means that woman is not, in so many ways, is not going to find a way to emasculate that man by telling him that he's not worthy of doing certain things. When it's more of along the lines of kicking the motherfucker when they down.
So it's safe to say she lets him be a man.
She lets him be a man. She lets him figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you have a lot of women, especially in these times where like I said, everything is visible. So when you sitting here posting stuff, about certain types of things as far as men are concerned, you don't know who's seeing that. Social media is a form of psychological warfare. Seriously. Because as monkey see, monkey do. But then you also have people who use that shit as motivation, but the ones that don't use it for motivation, they use that shit as more of a pull down, a tear down. Because, like I said, when it comes down to a male's ego, we look at certain shit and we try to enhance it. But when something bruises it, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's when we become reactive. That's why when you have men out here that's trying to holler at women and a woman says no to them, they shooting. They can't walk away and realize that they shooting. We not doing that shit. We punching the motherfucker in the face. For what? Why? Because she told you no. She didn't. You not mad that she told you no. You mad because your ego was bruised.
And can I clarify real quick? So a lot of people now are like, well, if you're not interested, why do you give your number? Why don't you just say no? That's why. I'm sorry, I had to like shed light on that because I've heard that so many times.
I have too.
How come you didn't just say no if you weren't interested? Because I want to go home. Because I want to make it home. Because I don't want to be the victim of some nigga's bruised ego. And him thinking it's okay to put his hands on me or pull a gun out on me or follow me because I said no.
That part.
But, and I'm going to be real too. Same thing with women. You know me. Everything is a two-way street. Same thing with women. Our ego is not like yours. It's not. But at the same time, you have those women who go crazy because a guy tells her no, or because, well, what's wrong with him? Why he? It ain't got to be nothing wrong with you. It ain't got to be nothing wrong with him. You just ain't for him.
That part.
Like,
one thing, and I'm actually going to go ahead and let what Univercity said segue into my next point. I think, well, you know what? No, let me finish this masculine energy real quick and then I'll get into that. Masculine energy, like I said, aside from ego, is making sure, like I said, you let that man be a man. You know what I'm saying? But don't kick that man when he's down. Find ways to bring that man up. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking you to like help that man find a job. We're not asking you to, help this nigga go get money or do whatever. You feel me? What I'm saying is let that man, when he's going through whatever he's going through, don't be his peace, is what I'm saying. Be his peace, be his support, instead of going back and hollering at the homies and shit. And he already in a fucked up place because something gonna end up coming up. Some kind of conversation, the problem may come up. It may not come up immediately, but it may come up at some point. And so now you done violated the trust of that man, and that's why you have a lot of men with trust issues and why they don't make themselves vulnerable to other people. Because somebody done tried to bruise their ego on purpose. And that's fucking stupid. It's the worst thing you can do to a person is, like I said, emasculate them in any way, shape, or form. But what I want to get into now is I want to actually talk about the importance of realizing your own insecurities. One thing I'll say is when it comes to insecurities, for me, I know what my main insecurity is. It's my height. That narrows me down for a lot of people, okay? But here's what I've had to do. Here's what I've had to learn. I'm in my 30s. I've been short my whole life. How do I accentuate my insecurity? It's easy. I gotta have a better personality than everybody else. Because one thing everybody likes to do is laugh. If I can figure out a way to make you laugh somehow, some way, now I have your attention. So now once I have your attention, now that's my opportunity to really introduce myself to you.
For the most part, you can make a woman laugh for real. You in there. Most parts. Some women are a little,
That's because they tough niggas, low key. And I'm not looking for that. So there's plenty of women out here that act like tough niggas, and I am not the one for you.
And I tell you what, have I affirmed you today? Have I?
I don't know. Have you?
Okay. So I give you something else too. I give you credit for it.
Okay. I can't really say today, but I know you do it often.
No, but I'm talking about in this situation right now where you're talking about your height.
Oh, yeah.
And that's being an insecurity.
Yeah, you give short people a chance.
Your personality, I am never bringing that up again because you ain't finna let this go. One thing I will say about you, you may be short, but you are a better friend than some of my tall men in my life or formerly in my life who were more than a friend. You do better than they do. And they have beyond friend benefits.
Aww.
So you, like I said.
Thank you, Kym.
That's why I don't tell you shit. Like I said, I've said it before. When Sam is around, and I've asked you, I operate in feminine energy, right? When you're around.
Until you get mad and start being mean, you start acting like one of them tough niggas I was talking about.
And this is why. This right here. That's not what I asked you. Yes or no, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Because I'm allowed to. I don't touch door handles. I don't pump gas. I don't take out my own trash. I don't have to.
Motherfuckers gonna think we go together now.
I literally just said my friend. Just said that.
But you know what people be thinking though.
Oh my gosh. And here you go, Karen, what people be thinking.
It don't really matter. Fuck y'all.
Please. Like, whole time. And so that was my, like, you may be on the shorter side or whatever, but you are like a dope friend.
Oh, Kym, thank you.
You're welcome. See, you've been calling me mean all day, and now look.
Until the next thing.
Go ahead, finish. I'm done. This is why I don't be nice. Go ahead.
Cool.
I'm done.
So, Kym, talk about some of your own insecurities.
Some. I do one.
Okay.
I think I actually said this before. One of my main insecurities that I have fought with is not being good enough.
Okay.
And I feel like that one is so hard to deal with because that can apply in every area of life. Not being a good enough mother, not being a good enough woman, not being a good enough educator, not being a good period. And it's hard to work through, but at the same time, because of the people I keep around me, it's almost like they want to pop me in the back of the head, like, who says who? Who says you aren't good enough? Because if you ask me, like, you're more than good, you're beyond good, you're better than good. And I know one thing I told you, and what I told you because my therapist told me. And that's kind of how I had to start moving, and that's what helped me deal with it. Imagine your future self. Imagine how you want to be. Imagine how you want to live, how you want to look, how you want to sound, how you want to move. All of that. And then start showing up as that. Eventually, you're going to meet yourself halfway in the middle. So, but that shit is still tough to deal with. Just to think like, damn, like, you are your own worst enemy holding yourself back because of some negative narrative that you formulated in your head thinking that you're not good enough when in all actuality, I'm just as good, if not better, than anybody else that's in this situation or that I might be comparing myself to.
University.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the same question. What do you think your biggest insecurity is?
Personally for myself, it'd probably be like my dry skin or my teeth. It'd be something of the physical appearance. Nothing really of the mental. You know, I'm very confident in my abilities and the things that I do. So yeah, stuff like, you know, my skinny stature, dry skin, teeth, shit like that.
So what it all comes down to is that we all seem to have our own insecurities.
Right.
It's just a matter of like, I don't know, bro. You're going to have to be the last one to answer everything because you give the perfect fucking segues, I swear to God, bro. Because that's where I was going to go next. We know a lot of people who have taken their own personal insecurities and they've made them insecurities into millions of dollars.
Yep.
I know a friend, I guess this will be my shot. She get a lot of shout outs from me, but that's because I know her and I've known her since I was 7 years old. Shout out to my homegirl, Nina.Arie. She has the Nina.Arie resort and swimwear line. She's a plus size woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's always been a plus size woman. You feel me? Well, obviously as an adult, but she's always been plus size. And one thing that she always mentions that at one point she wasn't
Confident.
feeling confident in herself like that. But then she turned that shit into an empire.
Yes.
She has other women of the same size. Some are big, and she makes them feel beautiful.
Yes.
And I think that's the number one thing that a lot of people have to understand. It's a matter of feeling.
And that's why I started smiling, because that woman, excuse me, I don't owe you nothing because I don't do it all the time.
Now you just take the dollar back that I owe you.
No.
So I owe you too.
No.
Real quick, so we have this thing going to where I had said I'm gonna stop calling women.
He always says girls instead of women.
That's because some of them act like it though.
Well, them the one. Never mind. So every time he calls a woman a girl, he owes me $1. So guess what? Everybody heard it. If y'all catch him calling a woman a girl, let me know so he can run me my money. Let me know so he can run me my money.
With my listen, y'all.
No.
Look, you tell on me, you gonna shorten your blessings. All right.
Nah, they're gonna be
Mind your
honest.
business.
They're being honest.
Look, some of them need to be honest with themselves.
Anyway,
don't bother me. Okay.
No, but I'm sorry, I digress.
Okay.
But whole time I started smiling because like her confidence is unmatched.
Absolutely.
And I love that. I absolutely love it.
Man, listen. You talk about putting yourself down with limitations. Listen, a woman like her will definitely make you change your mind about certain things. You know what I'm saying? But then and then a few nights ago, I had a conversation with one of my big homies, and we talked about people that we see on a global scale. I use Bill Gates as an example.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Bill Gates, the reason I brought him up, clearly Bill Gates is some geeky ass looking white man. Okay? He's a simple dressing motherfucker. Period.
That part.
You will find him standing at the local ice cream parlor looking like he belongs. Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
But here's where his insecurity probably came in at. He was probably that white kid in high school that just looked, like I said, he was a straight nerd. Picked last for whatever he was supposed to be, whatever kids was picking, whether it was dodgeball, basketball, whatever. He was probably not the first choice for somebody who was trying to go to prom. He probably didn't even go to prom, and if he did, he went with whoever needed a date as friends. So, saying all that to say, what's more powerful than being the richest man in the world? Because nobody can be better than you at that. You have clearly amassed everybody's biggest dream, which is to be the richest person in the world. And if only one person makes $1 more, then that's how they beat you. But it ain't too many people that's close. You know what I'm saying? Think of that. Every time you have a moment to where you say to yourself, for example, I don't think I'm good enough. Well, guess what? I thought you were good enough to be my co-host. I thought you were good enough for me to make sure that anytime you need something, I'm always available.
Facts. You are.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Univercity. Whatever what he said his insecurities are. I'm sure one thing about bro, you know what I'm saying? He's always made sure his confidence stood out above all his other limitations as he may consider them to be. And he stands out. Me, my limitation is my height. That's the only thing I limit myself on when it comes to my biggest insecurity. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who don't like me. Because it's all I need is one to hit. And if I get lucky, it might be a couple of them. But that's me. Because I'm not dating.
That's you.
So you all know how we do with the beers and white toes. And if you're not familiar, check this out. One thing we always make sure we do is to keep our audience engaged. Because after all, you all listen to us often. And when you all listen to us, I'm sure you always have something to say.
And like we always say, talk to us. We talk back. And
with that being said, we got a couple homies in the audience, but we're going to bring up our homie Keith on stage, man. Come on up here on set. It's all good. That's funny as hell.
I was going to say, they super excited.
Keith, bro, so look, you've been listening to this entire episode, and it's definitely, like I said, it's one of these type of episodes where I feel like everybody can be involved.
Universal.
You know what I'm saying? So you done heard our thoughts on insecurities briefly. Just talk about some of the things that you feel are barriers, or as far as insecurities are concerned. Talk about some of those things that you may come across from time to time.
So, insecurity, that's a real touchy subject for people. Not for me personally, but I feel like insecurities, far as for me, is what you wanted. Insecurity for me, sometimes throughout life, I feel like I don't do enough. And I'm talking about financially, as a man, they always say you should provide this and that. So,
well, real quick, let me ask you a quick question.
Okay.
Who told you that?
Who is
It's
they?
like
Because you said
they is
they.
society.
Because you said they.
I feel like they is society. It's like we taught that as a young adolescent to, you know, a woman's taught certain things, a man's taught certain things, and I felt like that was one thing that we was always taught. We was always taught was to always, you know, make sure we was able to provide, you know, because like for me, for instance, I got 2 sisters. I'm the only boy. So
Bless your ministry, dog. Bless your heart, bro.
I understand, like, it's even more preached upon me to be the one to, you know, make sure I provide. And that's an insecurity as well, far as, because it's like, man, I might not have this or that compared to other people. And I know we shouldn't compare ourselves, but let's be honest, we human. As human, we compare ourselves.
Absolutely.
It's a lie if you say you don't, you know, but I ain't got out of that over the years. But it's something you still deal with time to time.
I think you made a incredible point in regards to comparisons. That's the main problem with insecurity right there, because when we look at insecurities from a standpoint of self, who gives a fuck about who should give a fuck about how they feel about me? That's not my business over there, you know what I'm saying? But that's what makes the insecurity so bad. Because like you said, we feel like we're in competition with somebody else as opposed to it being me versus me.
Yeah,
I'm good enough for myself. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, everybody always competing and comparing, you know. And then now we live in a day where you got social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and that's all it is. That's all it's about.
This shit is nothing but cap.
You know,
it's a motherfucker driving a nice ass car and his mattress has got air in it.
Man, but talk about that car though. Is it his? Do we own it?
And you know what? I ain't knocking anybody for that shit, but I'm just saying, you don't know what people. Right. You can be anything you want out here.
You can.
Until somebody actually put that shit out there and knows who you are.
Yeah.
Because it's easy as fuck to call cap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no, you bring up a great point with that.
Everything ain't always what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm one thing about me is I fall into that as far as comparisons are concerned, because I feel like I have to make myself stand out amongst other people instead of just going what's natural to me, which is my own personality. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I know I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about me, if I can make you laugh, that's the way for me to go ahead and really introduce myself, because now you already made a judgment off of me. Okay, first thing you should think is, oh, he got a sense of humor. And like I said, who doesn't like to laugh? Right. Everybody likes to laugh, you know, or you mess around in the type of person you are if you're highly intellectual. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You can easily create small talk or elevator talk. And that's an opportunity for you to sell yourself. So if we really just start tapping into our strengths and use those as opposed to dwelling on some of the negatives about ourselves. Because like I mentioned, I take therapy now. I had my first session, but in my first session, the therapist, his job was to kind of narrow down what he thought some of my traits were that I needed to work on. One of which was making sure I didn't create narratives about myself that weren't true. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying to myself, you know, I am capable, I am good enough, I'm always questioning myself, what's wrong with me?
But that's the comparison.
And that's the comparison part. And so you don't know these things until a person that knows nothing about you. That's when I say when you have the opportunity for small talk or elevator talk. The first 5 minutes of the conversation with my therapist was like, look, this is who you are. This is who you portray yourself to be. So this is how I interpret you. So that's why I say you use your natural abilities, use your strengths as opposed to using things that are going to go against you. If you say that you're not capable, then you're going to psych yourself out every time. And that's not even just with dating. That's with a job. If you don't, they've done a study to where if a person applies for a job and it's less, like if it's $100,000 job on the table and a $60,000 job on the table, most people go for the 60 and not the 100. Why? Because they don't think that they're capable or they deserve to make $100K.
Can I go further sometimes?
Absolutely. No, go, please.
Sometimes I think it's responsibility too.
You're afraid.
That's
because you
fear.
know that $100,000
Yeah,
is coming with a whole lot more. Yeah.
There's a fear of failure.
But also it still ties back to the insecurities though, because so what?
Yeah.
At least
so
you tried.
What?
So
like,
what?
Guess what? It may be more responsibilities, but I may be the one that can hold this shit down and show you why you're paying me $100,000 versus that $60,000.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that? You?
Man, same as what Keith said. You know, a lot of people just be scared of that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people mentally are lazy, bro. You know, so and this pandemic has showed us, you know, with the you know, different grants and unemployment and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people just rather take the easy route. So it might not even be their insecurities, but basically a different type of mindset that they may be.
That's true too. That's a good point. But you know, and when you sum it all up, really and truthfully, that's really all insecurities are. So it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Because we talked about the height meaning that women look towards when it comes to men, and when it comes to men, it's assumed that we look at weight. You know what I'm saying? But in the aspect of both, I'm short. I'm good with that. This is who I am. I'm perfectly fine with that. But like I said, I need to figure out a way to separate myself from other short people. Right. And I'm going to bank on me every time, because in my eyes, I'm the prize. I'm the grand prize. Fuck a prize. I'm the grand prize. You know what I'm saying? Fuck a Mr. Right. I'm Mr. Absolutely Right. That's my thought process. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people, when they start tapping into themselves a little bit more, we see people that we may not find attractive. And we see them with somebody that looks amazing. We all in our heads will say, that motherfucker, how the fuck you pull this motherfucker? How you get that?
Yeah,
but you know,
got money.
It's something. But you know what? You walk out behind them, and that motherfucker go pull off in a beater, and she right behind her. But you know what? I bet he opened up that door for her. I bet he made her feel good. He carried her bags and made her move in feminine energy.
And furthermore, let's be real. While you sitting there doing that and looking at that person, your ass is alone, so you might want to just shut up anyway.
Yeah, I don't say that shit no more.
I'm just saying.
I don't say that shit no more, because it's just me and my dog at the crib, my lonely ass. So I don't even have them feelings no more, because I'm like, damn.
You know, it be single people who gotta say those.
It do.
Who have the most to say.
Yeah. Like,
with your lonely ass.
Like, misery love company, but man, damn, I don't want that type of company, because I'm trying to build myself up. And man, fuck all that dumb shit,
But
man.
that goes back to comparison too.
Yeah.
Which both of y'all said, you compare yourself, you don't know what it was.
Yeah, you don't know exactly.
But guess what? It's not your business.
It's not our business. And you know what? I hope when somebody see me with whoever I'm supposed to be with, they be like, damn, why she with that short nigga? Because guess what? A motherfucker can climb a tree. That's why. Okay? Whatever the case.
I'm so sick of you.
Hey, like I said, man, it's a matter of confidence. Look,
I know.
I got flannels at the crib.
I'm not mad.
Look, if she want to play dress up, I'll be a lumberjack.
Oh,
I don't care, man. Give me some Timbs and I'll mess around and turn that motherfucker into
the cowboy boots.
I ain't no cowboy boots, G. Give me a pair of Timbs and a flannel and I will turn into.
That's why I draw the line.
That's why I draw the line. I'm gonna mess around and turn shorty ass into a goddamn oak tree.
Okay.
As long as them roots is strong, I'm with it, man. But on some real shit, man. I just feel like when it's all said and done, if you can tap into those strengths, you can tap into yourself mentally, and you can just have the mental fortitude to say to yourself, I'm good enough.
And stop asking, why me? Why not me? Like, who's better to do this than me? Who can bring what I can bring besides me? Start affirming your damn self.
Yeah.
Like, affirm yourself. Change the mindset. Because it's literally you eating away at yourself mentally.
I think we need to do something real quick. I don't know if a lot of you all meditate, but I want to shout out another group of people that I've known for quite some time who have become like my family. My Mondays Don't Suck crew. Shout out to my boy William Jameson, my homegirl AJ, my homeboy Eddie, the organizers of this networking group. one thing we always do before we leave for the evening is we give our names and we affirm ourselves. And so I think with us talking about insecurities, I think this is the perfect opportunity for us as a group to be able to say our affirmations before we close out today's show. So what I'll do is I'll kick it off in case y'all don't know how to do it.
I'm going to say I'll do it if you're drawing a blank. Cause okay.
All right, so like I said, I'll go ahead and start off by saying my name and my affirmation. So my name is Sam, and I matter.
You say you matter?
I matter.
Okay. My name is Kymberly, and I don't chase, I attract.
My name is Keith, and I am.
Okay. DJ U?
Yo, what's up? My name is DJ Univercity, and I know I can do anything I put my mind to.
And that's that. And so with that being said, let that be written. I want you all to do yourselves a favor. When you all get a chance, go ahead and take a moment just to affirm yourselves, because if nobody's going to affirm you, you need to do it for your damn self.
Right.
One thing I was always told was to make sure that if I'm going to be putting water anywhere, I need to go ahead and water my plants first.
Yep.
I'm gonna give
die while you giving all your water to everybody else.
Yep, because you know what? Some people you can give all the water to, and that dirt gonna still be dry. You feel me? So real quick, Keith, talk a little bit about what you do and how we can find you.
Okay. Well, like you said, I'm Keith. I'm one half of Her Euphoria. That's a clothing brand, an activewear brand. Right now we have the women's department, and so we sell things like swimwear, tracksuits. We do other things as far as swim caps, waist trainers. We also have accessories too, like lashes and everything, but it's mainly a fitness brand that we do activewear, spandex fleece, all of it's good material. The USPS shipment. You go to the website, hereuphoria.com. We have different models from all over Florida, Illinois. We have some even from Michigan. We have some all over, so give us a look. We also have an Instagram too. It's called Her Euphoria, and with 2 underscores. So Her Euphoria __. That's on the Instagram, and the Facebook is Her Euphoria as well.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
University, any shout outs?
I want to shout out my homie No Sleep City. We just wrapped up an interview on DJ UTV. Y'all can check that out.
All right, for sure.
Hey man, shout out to the Beard and White Tones podcast. Shout out to Royalty Productions. And shout out to the whole city of Chicago, man. If you can't go home, you can't go nowhere. I'm blessed to be back home.
Absolutely. Cal?
I'm going to shout out Redemption real quick. If you know, you know.
Okay.
But I think I just gained between September and last month 2 nephews and 3 nieces.
Okay.
So shout out to all the new parents. I'm so happy for y'all. Better y'all than me, because it can't be me ever, not no more. And then also I got like 2 or 3 cousins who are also expecting.
Damn.
And some people I work with. I don't care. I love it. I love it as long as it's not me.
Yeah,
I love kids I could give back.
Yeah, I was gonna say where they water at, so I don't drink none of that shit, please, because everybody having kids. Well, as usual, want to send a quick shout out to the people over here at the Castle Studios, Royalty Productions. Shout out to them. Also, this is our first show with the actual audience, albeit it being a small one. I'm appreciative, just like the rest of the crew here, for being here. So shout out to these gentlemen for popping up, and also shout out to you, Keith, for being a part of this, because you're our first on-camera guest.
Yeah,
so
I
shout
want to say one more thing
Go
too.
ahead.
On the website, you will also see we have fitness instructors too, and we have at-home workout routines. So you can check that out on the website. Again, hereuphoria.com.
Hey,
Thanks
listen.
again for having me.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen.
Thank you.
Check this out. A lot of y'all trying to get them summer bodies, and y'all over here being insecure. Y'all better lock in with my man. For sure, because he didn't show me some of his stuff. So, hey, y'all might want to definitely lock in with bro.
And he said at-home workouts.
At home.
At home.
And if you in Chicago and a lot of y'all on the East Coast, hey, It's cold as hell. And y'all going through the same shit we going through. So I know y'all not trying to leave the crib. So lock in for real. My quick shout out, like I said, in addition to, the Castle Studios and Royalty Productions, want to shout out, again, the audience for being here. Shout out to Keith. Shout out to the homie DJ Univercity on the ones and twos per usual. Shout out to my amazing co-host. But I also want to shout out somebody that's very important, and that's my therapist, Washington. One thing about us as Black men and why we have so many different problems in our lives is because we don't take the time out to find somebody to help us get through a lot of our issues. That's why there's so much PTSD going on, because we are exposed to so much and we don't have anywhere to turn to. There's a lot of people out here that are deemed as being crazy or being out of their minds. That's because they don't have an outlet to go to. I credit my man Washington for being that person I need to talk to, just to help me get through my own insecurities. But ladies and gentlemen, especially if you of color, please make it y'all business to go ahead and lock in with some sort of mental health expert. Find a safe space. If it's a close homie, somebody that you can be vulnerable to, because a lot of problems can stop if we just have 5 minutes to talk about the shit we going through. And maybe a lot of things can change within that short amount of time. Yeah. But as always, I just want to just say, wherever you are, thank you all so much for watching the Beards and White Toes podcast. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. We look forward to seeing y'all real soon. And on top of that, wherever you are in the world, thank you for listening again. Have a good day. Have a good night. And we out.
Be safe, y'all.
Cue the music.
Have your ass away.
Guess who's back again? Downtown, bet they know as soon as we walk in. Shut up, I'm wearing Cuban links. Yes, I don't mix. Yeah, I'm the one behind these shoes. Don't look too hurt yourself. No, it's the color red, the blue. Yes, I don't mix. I'm the one behind these shoes. Don't look too hurt yourself. No,